Hello everyone, this is David Frazier with Slazer Games, and this tutorial starts out our very first of the Giants Editor map tutorial creation. Today we will be handling working with the terrain, getting it sculpted, and just getting a general layout of your map so that we can go ahead and work with placing the stuff later. Okay, now, I do have this pretty much planned out, the easiest way to do this, so let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is download the map that you start with that was uploaded to FS13 by me. It's the best starter map for Giants Editor 5.0.1 and above for advanced users. Um, it's CD McPherson, that is me. Alright, now once you get that, you will go ahead and have this icon downloaded on your desktop. Download it to your desktop. This is the actual map. Now, this map loads directly into the editor as well as the game. If you drop this into your mods folder, it will load up just like any other map, but it'll just be completely flat with nothing on it. Now, what we're going to want to do first is go to your mods folder. I have a link shortcut right here to it. So open up your mods folder. Okay, see, this is all the mods that I have right now that I'm playing with. Now, what you're gonna want to do is either with any unzip program, you basically have to unzip the folder because right now you can't edit it while it's in the zip file. So what I use 7-zip. That's the best thing because you can just click extract all and it will extract into right to the desktop. So we're gonna wait while that extracts here. Now, depending on how fast your computer is will determine how fast it actually unzips. The map is 214 megabytes, and that is because all the models and everything are included in the map. Everything that started with the base game. Okay, and I have it set where it opens up the actual folder, so go ahead and close that. Now you're going to have one that's extracted and one that's not. What I suggest is for any errors or any time you want to revert back to a certain stage or you want to start over, I would take this best starter map zip file and save it on your computer somewhere. But I already have it, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. Okay, now what you're going to want to do is take this best starter map that's unzipped and drop it into your mods folder. Make sure it shows up in there. Okay, then what you're going to want to do is, now that you have that, it's totally ready for editing. So I'm going to go ahead and close my mods folder. Alright, then you're going to want to go ahead and next thing is open it up with the Giants editor. So go ahead and open the Giants editor. And I'm currently using the version 5.5.2, which at this time is the most current one. And I use a 64-bit version because I have Windows 7 64-bit. Now what you're going to want to do is go to File, Open. Then you're going to browse to your mods folder. Since I have a link on the desktop, I'll just go through there. Okay, now you're going to see the best starter map folder. Go ahead and click in there. Then click map. And then right down here where it says map ID 3, that's the actual map file. So what we're going to do is go ahead and open that one. Now depending on how fast your computer is, it should open up pretty quickly because it's a pretty basic map. Alright, and there's our map. This is the map. Just make sure you have all the updates and everything for the Giant editor before you open this up. Now, the first thing I'm going to show you, because I'm making a small revision to this map, is if you come down here and click on the waterplane. This is where my waterplane is. This is where it will be when you download it too. Now you're going to take the widget and you're going to pull it up. And now if you see, that is the default waterplane that comes with the original map, the Hoggenstad map. What we're going to do is go ahead and delete it because we're going to be using a different one. So click on it and just push delete. Now you're going to go back to FSUK and we're going to download this alternate water plane. It's actually a water plane that covers the entire map. It was created by Luke159. I'll put the link in the description. I'll also say it here. It's fs-uk.com/mods mods /view /31407. And what this does is this is a mod that is just a water plane, but it covers the entire map, and you can lower it down to a certain level, and it'll be the same across the whole exact map, which is normally realistic because most water levels in real life are all at the same level. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go down here and download that. Just go ahead and download that and download it to your desktop. Okay, after you're done downloading that, you'll get this right here. You'll get this file right here, which is the water plane. What you're going to want to do is go ahead and extract that as well. Extract that to the desktop. Okay. Then what you're going to want to do here is open up your mod folder again. You're going to go to Best Starter Map, Map, Models. Now inside this Models folder, when it comes to custom models that I add into it that wasn't already included, I just go ahead and create a new folder and name that Custom Models. Okay, then open up the Custom Models folder, and then we're going to want to open up the water plane because it has another folder that's called Model Plane, a water plane, sorry. Okay, and see, in here includes the ID 3D that we're going to load into the editor, and then this is just a file for the texture and the XML file that tells it how to move and everything. It's just a basic water that comes with Farming Simulator 2013. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this water plane and drop it into the custom models folder. then you can go ahead and exit that one, and now you have these two left over right here. Should be empty folder, so you can just trash that. And then you can take this waterplane and save it for use another time. So I'm just going to delete it because I already have it saved. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and you can exit the models folder again. Now you're going to go back in the Farming Simulator. Um, I'm sorry, back into the editor here. Oops, I got two versions open, sorry. Okay, now once we're back into Farming Simulator, sorry, the Giants editor again, what we're going to do is we're going to import this water plane into the map. So what we're going to do is go with this set up here. This is your scene graph. This is the perspective camera, which is the one that looks straight down that you would use later on to make your PDA map. You have the sun, which is the standard lighting. You have the career start point, which is where your farmer starts out when you first start the game. The terrain layer, which is all this green. And then one field. This is what's required to load up in the Farming Simulator 13. You must have at least one owned field to start the game. So what we're going to do now is we're going to import the water plane. So we're going to go to File, Import. Now, mine automatically goes into that map folder because remember we opened up the map. What you're going to do is you're going to go to Models, Custom Models, Waterplane, and then it's automatically going to pop up the i3D file. And then you put a waterplane, click Open. Okay, now what that did was automatically open up the waterplane. Now, waterplane is going to be bigger than the actual map just by a little bit. So what you're going right now, currently, the waterplane is right here. Now, this is the Y translation, which means up and down. Now, we're going to, since the map is at 90, I made the map to be all the land at 90. We're going to go ahead and set this down to 85 for now, just to get it out of the way. Okay, now, the next thing we're going to do is the hard part. Now, currently, there's two different ways of altering the map. The first thing you usually want to start with is the land. A lot of people start putting houses on right away. Other people have worked with Farmer Yip's tutorial with the maps, and he's a great guy. Has good tutorials out there, but he works with the base models, and I do totally custom. So custom placements and custom coding. So it's a little bit more advanced. Now the next thing we're going to do is generate the land. Now you can do that by using the normal widgets and going up here to the terrain sculpt mode. And what that does is, I got mine set to a huge radius. Let me go back down to 10. Over here, you want to come over to where the brush says over here. And the radius is how wide it is, how big it is. Okay, see, that's a standard circle. Now, this brush type is whether you want it round or square. See, it looks round or square. These determine what the mouse buttons do. The left mouse button adds, which means it raises. The right mouse button is subtract, which means it lowers. And this one usually starts at at replace, but there's other ones you can pick like smooth. So I'm just going to show you really quickly how to do that. So take this middle mouse button, drop it down to smooth. Okay, the first thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and right click and raise up. That raises up the land. Okay, then left click. That lowers the land. Okay. And then the middle mouse button, if you hold it down, it smooths. You can smooth the edges. Now, this can be a long, tedious process because of the fact that I usually make my maps based on the entire map. Other map creators will just take a section of the map and then make like collision walls around it so you can't get out of it, but it only uses like about a fourth of the total map size. Now I'm just going to push this Control Z to get it back to where it was. Yeah, Control Z goes back through all the changes. Now we're going to do this a different way. Now, what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to close out the Giants editor, because now we're going to create the land the easy way. So go File, Exit. If it asks you to save, click Yes. You want to save because we added that new waterplane in there. Okay, well that's my other editor I had open. I don't need that one. Okay, now here comes the fun part. Now, if you're not familiar with the term depth map, D-E-P-T-H, it is a way of mapping where darker spots are lower on elevation and whiter spots are the highest. So what it does is it works with elevation between white and black, and the grays in between determine how high the actual land goes. So first thing we're going to want to do is go ahead and go to Google. Google is your friend. Now we're going to want to type in depth map and just click on the first one. Okay, and that's certain depth. Now actually I did misspeak. It's actually height map. Okay, now if you're using Google, you can usually go here for images for height map. Click on that. Alright, and this is what a height map looks like. The whitest spots are the highest spots, and the lowest spots are the blackest. So what I did was I did a test with that, and what I did was I went to here and went to the river, and I went to this first one. Okay, you can see that this image right here is 256 by 256. You can click View Image. Then you're going to right click, Save Image As, put on your desktop, and you're going to go ahead and leave it this name, but we're going to change it in a little bit, and click Save. Okay. Now it's going to show up in your desktop right here. Now, when you make a depth map, the suggested size of that map is 1025 by 1025. So what we're going to go at, since it's 256, we're going to want to you're going to need to edit it bigger. So the first thing you're going to need to do is have a picture editing software. I use Photoshop. You can also use Gimp. Gimp is free. I'll provide that link in the prescription, the description as well. Okay, you can also download Photoshop and get a 30-day trial from the website. I'll go ahead and put that link in the description as well. I use Photoshop CC. Alright. So what you're gonna do is I'm just gonna right click, open with Adobe Photoshop CC. And you can also, when you load up Gimp, you can go ahead and okay, I'm sorry about that. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm sorry I lost my train of thought there. But once you got it opened up in Photoshop here, it's going to be the standard size. What you're going to do is go to image. This is if you're using Photoshop. Image size. And you can change the width to 1025. The height 1025. And you're going to click OK. Now what you're going to do is you're going to go to File. And then you're going to save it as a PNG. So you want to go save as. Now, this you have to follow me specifically because it has to go in the exact spot. So what you're first thing you're gonna do is drop this down to PNG. The save file type is PNG. Okay, now you're gonna want to go to your mods folder, best starter map, map 01, and this is where you'll find all these ones right here. Now, this right here, the map 01 DEM, see how it's 1025 by 1025 in the PNG? What we're going to want to do is take this one and save it as this file. So if you click on the file, it automatically populates map01 underscore DEM, and you're going to want to click save. So as says it already exists, you want to replace, click yes. It's going to do the PNG options. You want the smallest slow and interlace none. Click OK. Okay. Then you're done with that. You're going to go ahead and close Gimp or Photoshop. Okay. Then you're going to want to go ahead and you can, this one is the older one. You can save a copy of the other one if you want to use it later, the one inside the mods map folder. Right now I'm just going to go ahead and delete this because I don't need this small one anymore. Okay, now we have the surprise. You're going to go ahead and open up the Giants editor again. Close this. You're going to go File, Open. You're going to go to the Best Starter Map, and that's in the map folder. You go back to the ID3 and open it up. And ta-da! We have our land generated. Now, if you see, what it has done is based on that height map. Where it was the lightest, it made higher points. Where it was darkest, it made lower points. And it generated your map. Now, this can be crude because of the fact um, we took the map from a 256 and increased it up to 1025. So we will have to do a little smoothing in the future, uh, because when you get really close, it's really bumpy. And I have tested out this map with the tractor, and it jumps around over these little bumps. So that's how it does it. Now this map right here, um, see, this is the waterplane already. Now you can see how it's formed like a river already. Now you can click on the waterplane, and it'll highlight where the waterplane is. And you can use this little widget to bring it lower. It'll make your river smaller and more land. Or I can bring it bigger and make more water. Make your river bigger. Now, I hate the fact that you have to do this. Now, there's the mouse button, but it's very slow, especially on the big map. But see, okay, right now it's currently at the height of approximately 103. If you look over here, let's just set the 100. Okay, and if as long as you can look, there's not really that much land. You can make kind of like an island. I think when I tested this out, I actually lowered it down to 45. And what it did was make a pretty decent sized river. It made a little outlet over there. And then as you can see over here, it made a little inlet. But this is a very zoomed out view. There's actually a lot of land to cover. If you look at like the size of a tractor, it's very small, because see when the texture is starting to come in here, right around here. You're like, tractor is about like this size, so it's huge. Okay, now this ends the tutorial for today. Um, Next time we're going to be placing some models, smoothing out some of the textures, and putting some roads, and doing some basic map design. Because the very first thing you want to do before you start placing any of um, the cow zones and sheep zones and the granary and all that, and spinnery and all that stuff, you want to have a road system based out already. So um, uh, check back for our next tutorial. That'll be tutorial number 2. And everybody, thanks for watching, and you have a great day.